Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, the place where we explore cameras, lenses, drones, and the creative tech that's shaping how we shoot and tell stories. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you stopped by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss our deep dive reviews, comparisons, and the juiciest leaks in the world of photography and filmmaking. Now today we're talking about a camera that's already sending shockwaves through the creative community, the Sony A7V. Sony's alpha lineup has always been about balance, and this model might just hit the perfect middle ground between the accessible A7 IV and the flagship A1. In this video we're going to break down 10 key features and upgrades you need to know about the Sony A7V, along with what it means for hybrid shooters, filmmakers, and photographers in 2025.44MP full frame sensor and image quality. The Sony A7V is expected to come with a 44-megapixel full-frame sensor, a sweet middle ground between the 33MP A7 IV and the 61MP A7R V. This means resolution boost, more detail for landscapes, commercial shoots, and high-resolution projects. Flexible cropping, shoot wide and crop in without losing sharpness, great for wildlife or wedding photographers who can't always zoom with a lens. Print quality, 44MP is more than enough for billboard-size prints while still being manageable in terms of file size. Now, unlike the flagship A1, this is rumored to be a non-stacked sensor. That means slower readout compared to stacked sensors, which could introduce rolling shutter in fast-moving shots. But Sony seems to have optimized it for 20 frames per second burst shooting, which is still lightning fast for most use cases. 4K 120 frames per second video. This is where the A7V could really shine. Leaks suggest it will support 4K 120 frames per second recording without any crop, a huge upgrade since many cameras introduce a crop at high frame rates. Full sensor readout, no line skipping or pixel binning, which means sharper footage and fewer artifacts. 10-bit 4:2:2. Internal recording, giving colorists more room to push the image in post-production. S-Cinetone and log profiles, offering cinematic looks straight out of camera, or flexibility for grading. Pro codecs like A7V HS, and maybe even all-intra for professional workflows. For creators, this means slow-motion cinematic footage with no compromises. Imagine shooting weddings, sports, or B-roll in buttery 4K slow motion without losing your field of view. AI autofocus with dedicated processor. Sony already dominates autofocus, but the A7V is rumored to introduce a dedicated AI processor for subject recognition. Here's what that means in practice: expanded subject recognition, not just humans, animals, and birds anymore, but also cars, trains, planes, insects, and athletes. Smarter tracking, the AI predicts subject movement, reducing focus hunting in complex scenes. Better low light AF, improved recognition in dim environments, perfect for events or night shooting. Sticky focus, once the camera locks onto an eye, it's expected to stick tighter than ever, even if the subject turns or moves quickly. This could be the most advanced autofocus system in the mirrorless world, outpacing Canon's dual pixel AF and Nikon's 3D tracking. Ergonomics and design improvements, the A7V is expected to borrow refinements from the Sony A1, deeper grip, more comfortable for long shoots and larger lenses. Refined button layout, cleaner controls, fewer accidental presses. Improved menus, Sony's latest menu system, which is more intuitive and customizable. Higher resolution EVF, likely 9.44m, giving a crystal clear preview. Better weather sealing, making it more durable for outdoor and travel photographers. These aren't flashy upgrades, but for professionals, comfort and reliability are just as important as raw specs. Low light and dynamic range, with a 44MP sensor, there's a balance between resolution and sensitivity. Sony has a track record of 12-15 stops of dynamic range, retaining highlight and shadow details even in challenging lighting. Excellent high ISO performance, clean results up to ISO 12800 or more thanks to back-illuminated sensor design. Dual native ISO possible if included. This would improve noise control in both bright and dark conditions. This makes the A7V a strong option for night shooters, wedding videographers, and event creators who often deal with unpredictable light. Burst shooting and speed, rumors point to 20 frames per second burst shooting, which is a big upgrade from the A7IV's 10 FPS. Ideal for wildlife, sports, and event shooters who need to capture fleeting moments. Supported by a likely larger buffer and faster CF Express Type A cards, meaning fewer interruptions when shooting raw bursts. While not as insane as the A1's 30 frames per second stack performance, it's more than enough for 95% of creators. Cooling and long-form recording. Overheating was a weak point for the A7 IV. The A7V is rumored to integrate better heat dissipation, possibly the same system as the A7S III and A1. Longer record times, ideal for weddings, interviews, and live streams. stable 4K 60-120 frames per second recording without the dreaded overheating shutdowns. This reliability could make it one of the best Sony cameras for professional video work. Connectivity and workflow. Sony is expected to push connectivity even further. Wi-Fi 6E support, faster wireless file transfers, smoother live streaming. USB-C 3.2 faster tethering and charging. Direct-to-cloud support, offload footage automatically to the cloud for instant backup. Better app integration with the Sony Creators app. Remote control and file sharing should be smoother than ever. For modern creators who work fast and collaborate remotely, this is a big win. Battery life and efficiency. The A7V will continue using the proven NPF Z100 battery, but with improved power management thanks to more efficient processing. Better cooling, preventing battery drain from overheating. USB-C charging while recording, perfect for long shoots, podcasts, or streaming. This ensures all-day shooting without constantly swapping batteries. Price and market position. Price. Rumors suggest $3,000, $3,300, which places it higher than the A7 IV, $2,500. Way cheaper than the A1, $6,500. In direct competition with the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and Nikon Z8. This pricing strategy makes the A7V the ultimate middle ground camera. Professional grade, but not unattainable. It's designed for serious enthusiasts, hybrid creators, and working pros who want flagship-level features without paying flagship prices. And that's the full breakdown of the Sony A7 versus rumored features. If Sony delivers on this package, a 44MP sensor, uncropped 4K 120 frames per second AI, autofocus, pro codecs, and better ergonomics, then this could easily become the most popular hybrid camera of 2025. But the real verdict will depend on three things: how well Sony manages rolling shutter on a non-stack sensor, whether overheating issues are finally gone, and how reliable the AI autofocus is in real-world shooting. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you spend around $3,000 on the Sony A7V? Do you think it's worth the upgrade from the A7 IV, or will you wait for Canon or Nikon to respond? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read and reply to as many as I can. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss our camera reviews, comparisons, and the latest leaks. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, keep creating, keep experimenting, and I'll see you in the next one.